Welcome to Built for This. I'm your host, Brian Briscoe. My podcast features captivating conversations with intriguing people who have found purpose in their lives through their career, family, or life experiences, and just why they were built for this. Through the stories that you will hear, I trust that you will be inspired and encouraged to find just what you were built for. So let's get started. And welcome again to another episode of Built for This. And this is going to be fun. We have one of our great friend into the studio for today's show. He's a business and performance coach, but my friend Matt Kern is on the show. Matt, thanks for jumping in today.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you inviting me to be here with you guys.
Well, you got a lot of things to share that are really, really helpful and insightful, I think, to people, to business leaders, just to individuals, and just life itself. We're going to start, first of all, you're Ziglar certified.
I am.
People know that name, Ziglar, Zig Ziglar. And so what does that mean, first of all, if you're Ziglar certified in being a business and life coach?
Well, I have gone through certifications with the Ziglar Corporation that's based out of Dallas, Plano area. Mm-hmm. And I decided several years ago that I was going to take my training and education to the next level, and that was going to be having certifications for coaching. Well, you've probably seen that there's hundreds of coaching programs out there.
Right.
And I ran into Tom Ziglar and his team a few years ago, and the Lord just led me to listen to what was going on. I went to a seminar. I heard Tom speak. He introduced me to the right person, and those people sat down and talked to me about that and decided if I was going to do it, I was going to make the investment. And I decided that if I'm going to make investment or ask other people to make an investment with me as a consultant or a coach or a guide or a partner, is I better go do it first and set the example. And that meant monetarily and time and effort, to build my skills up to, be certified for that. So it's not like you just go out and buy the certification.
Yeah.
They're going to hold your feet to the fire. And it's ongoing too. So I'm still, I have 2 certifications with them now, and I'm working on my master certification for Ziglar.
Was there anything, Matt, that any point that came along that you decided or you felt like this was a path you wanted to take? Anything that sparked it? I mean, because I know that you work in the in the real estate title end of the world as a job, but what was it that became an impetus that said, I need to be doing this. This is my calling in my heart.
Yeah, well, I've learned servanthood leadership many years ago through serving in ministry. Mm-hmm. And God wants not only be in our personal, life, but also in our corporate life. Yeah. And so the values and the attention that I put towards that showed me the benefits that I could get from that if I would just share it with others. And so as working around the real estate industry since 2004, I started working around and networking with local business people like yourself and small business people who I saw that there was a need for this and for guidance. And so that's what sparked it in me. It was like, okay, what's the next step?
Mm-hmm. What do you see when you started working with small business people, in particular, that level, the entrepreneurial spirited people?
Right.
What have you discovered that is the biggest need for people like me in a small business that could use a business coach to kind of help tutor them along the way?
Organization would be one of the first things. I would say that a lot of people that I meet are really good at their job.
Yeah.
They know how to do their job. They don't know how to do their business. And
that's a difference.
And there is a difference. And when you take the time to reflect and reveal and discover what really needs to be in a system and a process, then you see the light bulb come on. And then you see that, hey, I can be more effective and more efficient in my business and actually run a business effectively and be prosperous if I would just follow the process. And the other part to that, and I hear it over and over again, is trust the process.
Trust the process.
If the process works, you don't need to recreate the wheel. It's not rocket science.
I'll just say, when you mentioned trust the process, Chris Watts, who's running for mayor in Denton, that's one of his favorite terminologies.
Oh, it is?
Yes, trust the process. He says it all the time.
Yep.
I like one thing that you say is, and I had wrote it down to make sure I had it, is that people don't need more information; they need transformation. What do you mean by that?
Well, we talk about this all the time, that we're overloaded with information.
Mm-hmm.
We get it from everywhere. It's on our phone. I mean, it's right in front of us all day long, all night long, as much as you want it.
Yeah.
And people don't need any more information. They have plenty. They need wisdom.
Yeah.
With wisdom comes guidance. And people don't want to hear about how to do it. They want to see how to do it. They want somebody to show them. It's like our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids, we say to our kids all the time, you're not listening to me. They're not listening, but they're watching.
Right.
And when we can show somebody how to do something, it's a lot wiser to show them than it is just to tell them.
What about the word intentionality? I know that's a big thing with you, and you've mentioned it a lot. I've been around you enough to know that. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about how important that is for anyone.
It's funny that you bring that up, because I've just released a date for the next workshop, which is called The Intentional Life. And so it talks about being busy, right? We're all busy.
We're all busy.
Yeah, we all were busy. And several years ago, I took the word busy out of my vocabulary and I replaced it with productive. So when someone comes to you, so you need to try this sometime. So when someone comes to you, Brian, hey, it's good to see you. Long time no see. How's things going? Are you busy? Just take that moment and just hold it and then look at them and say, no, I'm not. And then they'll look at you and
like I'm crazy.
And they're like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Can I pray for you?
Yeah, sure.
You're like, no, I'm not busy. I'm productive. I think that it means to me is that whatever I can control and whatever I can schedule, I'm going to do my best at doing that first, then allowing somebody else to fill in my own schedule, my own calendar. I want to do it myself. Not saying that it's not going to change, but at least I have something to roll out with. So I know in the morning, I know what I'm doing in the morning, and I know what I'm doing in the afternoon and the evening. And if change comes along or something gets canceled, which happens all the time,
right?
Then what's plan B?
Yeah.
Now,
I'm fascinated by that, the staying busy, because we do seem like we're busy and sometimes we feel like, if I can get my day planner completely covered up with something every day, then I'm doing something this week. But to talk a little bit about how that intentionality can really be more productive if we really perhaps pare that down to intentional things can be more productive, and the end game turns out to be better.
Yeah. Well, I am a planner guy.
Yeah.
I carry a planner around. I give them away every year.
Yes.
I learned from the old school hard sell guys. Carry a spiral, write down everything. Don't forget, right? Because you're going to forget if you don't write it down.
Sure.
You see, I brought a book today.
Yes, you did.
I always write notes, whether I'm writing them while we talk or I write them afterwards.
Yeah.
And a daily planner is like, I had a guy that taught me, is like, when we show up on Monday mornings for meetings, I want to see what your week's planned for. And if you don't show up.
Yeah.
That kind of guy, right?
Sure, yeah, those.
And it drilled it in me. But I don't walk away with it. It's always with me somewhere in my car or with me on person, or in my office.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to write those and schedule those things down. The other part is that I need to review what I've been doing in the week or in the day. Because have I just been doing busy work? And busy work, especially like in small business, you can admin up all day long and never get anything done. But you got your admin done, right? But did you talk to anybody today? Did you write a thank you note to somebody today? Did you go have coffee with somebody today? Did you go to a podcast today? Did you make an effort to go meet someone new that you've never met before? And those kind of things need to be in your schedule. because those are what can be effective not only in your business life, but in your personal life too. Did I schedule time for my family? Are we going to go out to eat tonight? Are we going to meet up for pizza? Right?
Yeah.
Am I going to go to a chamber event and network, and then who am I going to follow up with afterwards? Yeah. Well, I need a planner or something to write down so I don't forget, because when we don't write things down, we become busy and then we forget. And then 6 weeks down the road, you get this weird text from me. Hey man,
where are you?
I've been really busy lately and I'm sorry that I missed not following up with you.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Right. Number one thing in sales is follow up.
Yes.
And that should be within the day or so. Right.
And the writing down aspect, that seems to be like almost a lost, dying art.
Yeah.
In our day and age of electronics and technology, and people show up, and you see it all the time. People show up to meetings or activities, and they're just going to absorb it, but can you remember it and have things? So I know you just talked on it. You're a big proponent of take notes, write down. You won't remember, and is that something we really need to get back to doing?
I think so too. I think the BlackBerry. Remember the BlackBerry?
Oh, the BlackBerry, yes.
Because remember, we used our thumbs.
Yes.
We didn't use our fingers.
Yeah.
It was built for our thumbs, and then the little roller ball came out on it too, right? But using our thumbs and taking notes with that and texting has almost taken up the writing down.
Right.
So many people don't write in cursive anymore.
Yes.
My mom
don't know how.
My mom was a 3rd, 4th grade school teacher, and she taught me at an early age how to write in cursive, how to write my name in cursive and how to write in cursive. And most people don't even write in cursive anymore, even to take notes. They just print.
Yes.
And that's kind of the new thing, is just a print. But there's a connection with you and your brain when you write things down. I take notes in different types of books all the time, whether I'm at church, I'm at Bible study, or I'm going to a meeting, or I'm meeting a client, and I take notes. And now with AI and ChatGPT, you can take notes, or I can take pictures of it. So pro tip.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a PDF or something written out or typed out for ChatGPT to understand it. You can just write notes in your hand and print it and take a picture of it and upload it, and it will decipher that information just as fast as it would have printed.
Yeah.
And probably even better.
Even better.
Yeah.
Let's talk about clarity, confidence, and consistency. 3 words that I know that you like to use, and the importance of those in our daily lives, and whether it's just as an individual, our families, or businesses.
Yeah. Clarity is a real important thing, because there's a lot of things going on around us. It's the shiny stuff.
Yeah.
And the squirrels, right? Always going on around us, taking our attention off it. And if we don't clarify what our intentions are, if you don't have a map, anywhere you can get to, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter on that. But having clarity in your personal life and business life, I ask people all the time, do you have a personal mission statement?
I remember a meeting that was it, and you asked that question.
And
the room went silent.
It always does go silent. A lot of people have business mission statements.
Yeah.
I think we should always start with our personal mission statement first, because it needs to be reflected in our business statement, and a lot of businesses sometimes don't have both. And I love to work with people, even one-on-one or in groups, where I want to go and address their personal habits first before we even tackle those business habits or problems or anything that needs to be solved, because that's what they're there for in the first place.
Yeah.
Let's try to figure out in our personal life how balanced we are or unbalanced we are.
Yeah.
So in the Ziglar training, Tom Ziglar has drawn a wheel of life.
Okay.
And there's different aspects of that life. And you can take this little test and you can figure out how round your wheel is or how many flat spots you have on it.
Okay.
And then sometimes you can also tell, well, it's really round, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 5. Okay, well, what happens when you ride a bicycle with a little wheel? You pedal
You work yourself
You
to
sure
death.
do, especially up a hill,
Yeah.
right? That's why we have those extra gears in our 10-speed, 15 speeds, right? That allow us to have a longer stroke, on there, or shorter stroke, depending on what we need. And so if I see somebody that's all fives, guess what I know? Hey, there's room.
Yeah.
There's room for improvement, right? And do you see that room? Let's get you to an 8 or 9. And that way your little legs are not pedaling so hard.
You can use another gear.
Yeah. So clarity is really an important thing. We have to take the time first.
Yeah.
A lot of people, if you're too busy, you don't slow down long enough to even try to clarify things. And I think a good coach helps people clarify.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Then the next one in that trifecta of words.
We talk about confidence all the time. And one of the things that I want to help people with is if I need to share my confidence, I would rather share it with them first and let them ride off of my confidence till they get their own.
Okay.
Because sometimes people, let's say like when we're networking, we can tell people when they come into a room of 100 people, sometimes, which we see on Wake Up Wednesdays, on the first Wednesday of the month.
Right.
And they've never been in a room of 100 people to network before. Where is their confidence level at? It's kind of low.
Yeah.
It's not meaning that there is anything wrong with them. They just not sure what to do. And then as an ambassador of any type of thing that we do, we should ambassador those people and help them build their confidence. I've worked with many groups of people teaming up to build confidence where I didn't have confidence in people because I just didn't know anybody, but those people did. And that's a great thing about networking is you might know somebody I don't, then you introduce me, and then we get to start a relationship, and guess where my confidence level goes? Well, it goes up.
Yeah.
And then all I do is rinse and repeat and do the same thing again.
Are you finding confidence when you work with business people, entrepreneurial type people? They may be very confident personally, but afraid to take risk or challenges in their own business or try to elevate and take it to the next level because something's holding them back, even though they might be a very confident person.
Yeah, there is belief factors that I see and come across quite a bit. I'm in a program right now with the Ziglar group on my second time around, and it's called Be the Light. And we're addressing this right now in this is we run things through a truth filter. Because it's not for me to point at something and blame it or for you to point at me and blame it. It's for us to reveal what the real truth is. And sometimes there is a disbelief that we are believing that is the truth, and it's truth to us. But once you get to talk about it and then it really reveals itself, it's going to tell you whether or not it's true or not. And with that, if it's not true, we can put that to the side and move on and believe in what is true. But sometimes we need someone there to help shine the light on that too.
Right.
And in belief is a real strong thing that people need to work towards, right? Is making sure, because we hear disbelief all the time. There's a fear factor out there, right?
Consistency.
Yeah.
I know you harp and preach again on that a lot. You got to show up. You got to keep doing this. But consistency being a part of our personal and business growth.
Yeah. So you're listening, aren't you?
I'm paying attention.
I see that.
Yeah. That's what
you're not just showing back there taking pictures.
I'm trying to be a good podcast host.
Yeah. Yeah. Consistency pays off.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the reason why. We work in a gap environment where all of a sudden we become where we don't get up in the morning. Okay. Let me just say this. Who listening to this today got up and made their bed? This is consistency.
Yeah.
Getting up every morning and making your bed first thing. And I hear guys always say, yeah, but my wife's still in it. Okay, well, make up your side of the bed.
There you go.
Right? But starting with something that you can see that you've accomplished right out of the gate. Consistency of getting up and reading scripture in the morning or reading our men's devotional.
Yeah.
first thing every morning and not missing. Getting up and taking my vitamins every day and eating my protein and getting prepared for the day. Consistency of going to bed at night and getting my 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get up in the morning and come to a podcast
Mm-hmm.
refreshed and ready to go with good ideas, right?
Yeah.
But if we allow ourselves to create a gap where, well, maybe I don't need to do it today. I don't feel like going to the gym today. I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and I don't do it because yesterday was my day to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden a week goes by and I haven't gone. I've become inconsistent and there is a gap that starts to establish itself. In distances where you're running and trying to run a straight line from A to B, if down here at the very beginning, I get off by an inch or two or a half a foot, well, when I get down to a half a mile or further, I'm way off. I'm many feet off the path of where I was supposed to go
Mm-hmm.
because I took that other direction. I took a deflection in there because I wasn't focused on the consistency.
What about goal setting? I know that is an important part, but you find a lot of people that are just kind of, I'm just going day to day. I'm just trying to run my business, or personally, I don't know what I want to do in life. But the importance of goal setting, and then whether you attain that particular goal or get part ways to it, the importance of that and establishing them, maybe actually writing them down.
Yeah, there's a formula to this. It's an XYZ, okay? So X is my goal. But starting before your goal is your dream. What are your dreams? And I talk to a lot of guys, and a lot of us that are 40 or 50 or 60 years old or older
Mm-hmm.
have quit dreaming.
Yeah.
And then we don't even think about it anymore. Or we say, I can't even dream anymore because we haven't. But we can.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times where we can take dreams and move those from a dream to a goal, or figure out through the factor of a formula whether or not that dream can turn into a goal. Because when you get to the end of your goal, what else are you going to do? Well, I'm going to go on to my next one.
Uh-huh.
But this XYZ is what I've used for years, is X is my goal, and the Y is the process or the journey.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, oh, it's not the goal, it's the process or the journey that you're, working towards.
Yeah.
And that is it. But it's also has to have this last part of it is time, where we measure a time. So if we have a timeline, today I'm talking about it now with you, Brian, okay? When do I want to complete it? Because if I've never put a completion time on it, then I have no way to measure it.
Yeah.
And then if I get down here to the end result of the timeline, okay, let's just say it's April 1st, and we get there and I'm not finished with it, it's okay because I'm a quarter inch away from finalizing it.
Yeah.
So I just add a couple more days onto it. That's not a big deal. But if I don't even do that, then when does it matter when I finish it?
And why is it, do you think, that we and maybe particularly men, when we get to this age, quit that dreaming and quit that trying to set goals? Is there something you think that clicks in at a certain stage that says, well, I can't do that, or I'm not going to do that?
Yeah, I think so. Not taking care of yourself. How about that?
Yeah.
I think one of the number one things in business that I ask all the time, and I ask business people, what do you think the most important thing is in business? And they'll give me some answers or not, and I'll say it's your health.
Mm-hmm.
Your health is your most important thing, because if you're a good, efficient business person or owner or leader, is that where's your health at in that? If you're supposed to work at 100% efficiency, but you don't eat right, you don't sleep right, you don't exercise, you don't take your supplements, how much energy do you have for the day?
Mm-hmm.
So how fast do you run out? So by at least working towards that, then maybe we would set more goals or have a better attitude. See, it's attitude that it all comes down to, right? And then sometimes we just quit dreaming about doing anything else because we're tired all the time.
Yeah.
And we don't have any energy. Or the other side to it is there's no one there to be accountable to anymore. And even if you have a partner, maybe the partner at that age is given up too.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're not seeking any type of accountability. See, this is what a good coach does.
Yeah.
They hold people accountable. And really, it's what a good friend does too, is hold you accountable. I remember when you were talking about this podcast,
mm-hmm.
and I can remember our discussion about this. And that I held you accountable. I remember what I said.
You made me do it.
Well, you already had the plan,
mm-hmm.
right? You were just getting to the timeline on there. And I was like, I can't wait to see you do this because you're built for this.
Okay. Very well done. Very well done.
Did you see that?
You've said two words, accountability and attitude. I want to talk about those, but accountability, when you're trying to help someone in their business or their personal life, that's a big word that many of us like to try to dodge and get around. But how important is that for each of us to say, first of all, I got to be accountable to myself, and then there's a lot of other people too.
Yeah. This also becomes in this belief factor,
mm-hmm.
is believing in yourself and loving yourself and forgiving yourself.
Yeah.
So if I can't do all of those things, how can I do it for you? The other side to this is value. If you don't see the value in yourself, how will you show me your value?
Excellent.
Right? And so accountability plays that role in that.
Mm-hmm.
And attitude plays one of the biggest roles. We have a performance formula that we use in Ziglar, and it has to do with attitude, okay, and skill
mm-hmm.
and actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so your attitude plays a big role in it, because if you believe in yourself, can I not do anything? If I can do it, you can do it, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
That's my attitude.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that means if no one's done it yet, or if I haven't done it yet, or Brian hasn't done it yet, I'll go do it. And then Brian will come along and he'll come and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just an attitude that you either you have it or you don't. And can you get it? Yes, you can. You hang out with a good attitude people, you're going to have a good attitude, because they're not going to put up with a bad one.
No. And expounding on that a little bit, attitude, whether a person is in a leadership role or not, if they just have a job to go to and this is what they're meant to do currently in life, and maybe God hasn't led them somewhere else, but this is where they are right now, this job, and it's not what they want to do, but it's where they are. Talk a little bit about how attitude is going to be a major role in whatever that position is, and then later on, if you're given the opportunity to be a leader.
Yeah, I was listening to preachers preach yesterday at church,
mm-hmm.
and he talked about how desperate are you?
Desperate.
Right? Are you desperate enough to be in front of God? Are you desperate enough to get up in the morning and read the Bible? Start your day out that way? Are you desperate enough to serve your family? But I think this comes from servanthood leadership, is what are you willing to do and sacrifice now for the later on?
Yeah.
Okay? And so will you serve other people, even if you lead them? Will you wash my feet, Brian,
mm-hmm.
even if you lead me? And you're telling me, and you're the boss, right? And you lead me down and you give me a governing body, right? And rules to go by. And here's what you do every day, Matt. But then you come to me and say, hey, sit down for a minute, take the load off, and let me wash your feet. Do you know how fast I would pull back?
Yeah.
And most guys do.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting when somebody's down, when we lower our hand to pull them up, that they pull away?
Yeah.
Because they figure that there's some kind of angle to it.
Yeah.
Right? They're not used to it.
Yeah.
And when you're not around that, this is one of the reasons why we have iron sharpens iron, is because we can reach our hand down and help others and show a safe place to others and say, hey, there are like-minded people who really care.
Talk about that. Iron sharpens iron. That's a nice lead in as a group that you started. I think God led you to start this. But, I think we as men are not prone to want to share feelings with anybody, much less each other. But talk about how that has grown. I'm a part of that. I go to these meetings, but it's a place that's come where men can actually share their hearts with each other.
Yeah. I don't remember if you were at the one where like 3 guys got up one day.
Yeah.
So we started this men's breakfast, and it was just, hey, show up. We can speak about men things.
Mm-hmm.
Women are not allowed, not because they're women. It's just for men to have a space that's safe for them to speak up. Because men won't speak up.
Yeah, they won't.
If they don't feel safe around other men. And then also to know that if they do say something, it stays where it is.
Yeah.
Unless they tell you that you can speak it out to the public, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we had 3 guys just out of the blue stand up and kind of confess some things.
Yeah.
And we've had the Lord really move very heavily in that group for a couple of hours. And for guys to come and be able to speak out of the group and just lay out things that they have experienced in their life and what it's done to them and how it has changed them and what they're doing now it's just a miracle of what we get to hear. And if we didn't slow down because of our busy lives and take that time to do that and how it affects these men, I get texts and emails and calls all the time. I can't wait for the next one. You don't know what this has helped me with. This group of men that you've collected together that keep coming. And we keep getting 3 to 5 new guys every month. Right. Because we give out the books to all the newbies. Yeah. And then we have a devotional that we share with the guys. Every Christmas, we give out everybody in the room that doesn't have one. And then we give away one once a month. And it's because as I read this devotional in the morning, that means that 30 other guys might be reading it too. Mm-hmm. And we're all getting the same message and we're all being in the same vibe. Yeah. And then we all network together and we see each other from places. I don't know if this has affected you in a way yet, Brian, but it has me. So we're out and about. I'm just running around Denton doing my thing or going to a meeting or going to a chamber event. And I see other guys who are part of the group. Yeah. And it's just a bond. Right?
Yes, it is.
Have you felt that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And do you think that it's come along at a time where certainly in this day and age it seems like I wouldn't say that men specifically are needing extra help, but maybe we are, but that it's coming along at a time where it's allowing men to be vulnerable when perhaps that they would never have wanted to do that before. Yeah.
Well, this gets to yes. Yeah. I agree. This gets to this place of when I'm weak, he is strong. Yeah. And we need to have that because the God calls for that in his word. And not only that this has affected the men who are coming now and the ones who are coming, down the road, that we get to be a part of their transformation. Yeah. But now the women have started a group and they've been going on for 4 or 5 months and we've been going on almost 3 years now, right? November will be 3 years.
That's right.
But they're now created a First Fridays women's group for lunch.
Nice.
And they've got like 20 women coming. Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Because they wanted to be a part of something that we were doing. They knew once I explained it to them what we were doing in there. It was like, we want to do that too. And I was like, yes, you should. Because as local business people and just personally, what else are you doing during the week to improve your life? Mm-hmm. And if we can put the right people around us even once a month, right? Yeah. Because I can tell who you are by the 5 people you hang out with. Yeah. And then some of us guys, because we are hard-headed, we don't hang out with anybody. But at least once a month, we hang out with 30 other guys, like-minded.
Yes.
And if we're not, we're going to come to that place of like-minded.
Yep.
You know?
What faith, when you talk about, or when you talk with people, you're life coaching or business coaching, but I mean, I know you have great faith in a lot of things you do, but how do you weave that into every part of your fiber when you're trying to coach someone up in their business or in their personal life, that it does eventually trickle down to where's your relationship there?
Yeah. I know where people are at if they have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
But also to what kind of relationship is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't read the Bible, how do you know who God is?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go to church? Okay. Does that make a big difference?
Yeah.
Can I have church wherever I go? See, I started understanding this Market Street ministry years ago. Like people in church, how much God do they need in the church if they're already in the church four walls?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they need a lot. That's why they're there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for a miracle. But God is everywhere. And so I understand being the light. Matthew 5:16, be the light in front of other men.
Right.
I am part of that light because God sees the best in me.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell men this all the time, or women, he sees the best in you. But don't get the big head that you're it.
Yeah.
The best in you that he sees is Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And so if Jesus has gone through all the trouble to die for my sins and for the world, and then also tell me that he's prepared a place for me, well, do I go, oh, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
Thanks for the offer, but I'll pass.
Yeah.
I'm not passing on any of that. But I am going to do my best to know that God's values and principles, at least because I've lived on my own values and principles, and it didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
At least that I know his are proven. And it's the process. And I might as well go live out the process for the rest of my life, because my first many years of my life, I didn't. And even though I had a mom that drug me to church every Sunday, you know, and I grew up around the religion, but God showed me from a young age what man does to religion and what the kingdom is about. And his kingdom is about advancing in a movement and in being a part of everything, whether it's good or it's bad. There was a preacher who used to say, I'd rather be in a hand of an angry God than not in his hand at all. And we don't have an angry God. We have a loving, forgiving God that cares about us, right? And he's just ready to give us everything.
Yeah.
You know? I
know you're not afraid to share your faith, and I think that's fantastic. And you do it all the time in your work day, personal life. You mentioned in the first few years or so that you tried to do it your way. And what kind of pushback or obstacles have you had to try to overcome, even in starting this men's group, when I'm sure you had to wonder whether that was going to happen or not? But the obstacles that you have to go through being a life and business coach and sharing and intertwining your faith at the same time.
Yeah. You get thick skin after a while.
Yeah.
Because once you've walked through the obstacles, sometimes, Brian, we don't need to pray about it. Mm-hmm. We need to speak to it.
Yeah.
We need to speak to that mountain. Sometimes we need this suddenly from God.
Yeah.
To show up and get out of the way and let him deal with it. I don't have to fight everything.
Yeah.
I just have to be consistent.
Yes.
And I got to have a good attitude.
Yeah.
And I've got to believe. And let's just say that all of this heaven and everything else is a bunch of crazy stuff. And when I die one day, then I figure out, oh, well, it's too late after I've died anyway, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say it is. And I believe that his word is true. And I believe that God is only as good as his word is. And so he doesn't go back on his word. And he has revealed so many things to me day in and day out and every week through people, through the Bible, through things that I read, that it's too much, it's too coincidental. Like there's no way that somebody could have set that up in my life to do that. And so if only thing I can do is promote it in whatever way that is, then I'm going to promote it. And by the way, I just want to remind you, Brian, that the Hebrew, Matthew in Hebrew means gift of God.
Yes.
Now I explained this to my mother many times because I'm a child of 4. And I came very, very late in life.
Okay.
And I explained to her that I wasn't oops, that I was a gift. I said, you named all of us siblings biblical names.
So there's a reason you
and
are
I
a
told
gift.
her that was a reason. She said, no, you were oops.
She wouldn't believe in that.
She was, But I said, so do I take my name for granted or not?
Yeah.
You know? And so I do.
Yeah.
And I just want to pour into people's lives as best I can if they'll allow me to do it.
So is that your journey now for the rest of whatever you're doing? I mean, I know that, hey, you'll help somebody close on a house and get their title done.
Yes.
All that kind of thing with Freedom Title. But your journey now, what you feel like that you are being filled with to do for the rest of your days by what you're doing with all of us, when all of us who know you. Is this your journey?
It is. Yeah, it is my journey, and it is a path that I'm on. And God reveals a part at a time. And sometimes I get really anxious because I'm looking for the next part. And he shows me other people's parts.
Yeah.
And then I want to go help them.
Yeah.
Right. But I have to be patient because I could point out things that you could do. You with me?
Yep.
But if I could help you see the revelation and it reveals itself to you and you discover it, it's going to mean a whole lot more to you than it does for me to tell you the answer. Mm-hmm. And that's what God does.
Yeah. Patience. You mentioned that word. How hard is that?
It's tough.
Yeah.
I am not a patient man sometimes, but then people go, you're so patient. I'm like, well, sometimes I am. I think we all feel that way, right?
Right.
Is that life is fast right now, you know, and everything's quick. I mean, we get mad if we are in a drive-through line more than 3 minutes.
Yes, we do.
Right?
Yep.
Or we're stuck at a red light and then didn't work right and we're stuck there for 5 minutes. Or someone has an accident in front of you and you're like, really? How did you flip a car on the highway when we were all going 30 miles an hour? And you got to wait forever.
Yeah.
You know? Or you're patient with somebody that you're waiting on.
Yes.
Or somebody doesn't show up on time.
There you go.
You got to be patient with that.
Yeah.
You know?
So going forward, the importance for each of us is that you would stress getting a mindset that has some structure to it and intentionality.
Yeah. I think get help.
Yeah.
Right? Don't think that you're not good enough or you're too good for help. I need help all the time. And it takes a part of me to reach out and ask. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to do this on your own? Just ask.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at in the Bible, it talks about ask, seek, and knock. If you take all first 3 letters of each word, it's ask.
Wow. Yes.
And so if it just means that, what's it going to hurt for me to ask you? Just consider it, Brian.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're going to do it and I'm not forcing you on it, but if I don't ask, then you don't know. And so we ought to ask. And when you feel like, oh, I shouldn't bother them, that's when you should be asking anyway, because you never know when that's going to bless them as much as it blesses you.
Well, Matt, you are sharing great words of clarity and confidence and consistency. And I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing because it's a blessing to a lot of us. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Built for This. Be sure to follow Built for This on your favorite listening platform and share it with a friend. Join me on the next episode when I will share entertaining stories of inspiration, encouragement, and purpose-driven experiences. What are you built for? Built for This is produced and recorded by Heart Media DFW.